Okay, let's jump in. Today, we're doing a deep dive into just one chapter, but it's packed. It's the first chapter of the second letter of John in the Bible.
Right. Very short letter. Comes from someone just calling himself the elder.
Yeah, and it's addressed to a chosen lady and her children. It's quite intriguing from the start.
Definitely. And the core themes, they hit you straight away. Truth, love, obedience.
And this really strong warning about deception that kind of threads through it.
Exactly. So our goal is just to unpack those key messages and, see what they might mean.
So where do we start? What's the first thing that sort of jumps out?
Well, for me, it's how he immediately frames his connection to this community. He says he loves them in the truth.
In the truth, not just I love you.
Right. And he adds, it's not just him, but all who know the truth. It grounds the relationship in something objective, shared.
Like a common reality they all inhabit.
Yeah, and he says this truth lives in us and will be with us forever. So truth isn't just an idea, it's like foundational to their very connection, their life together.
That sets a pretty high bar. And he seems
Yeah.
genuinely happy, right? He mentions seeing some of her children walking in the truth.
Yes, real joy there. And notice he links that walking in truth directly to obeying a command they got from the Father.
So truth and obedience are tied together right from the start.
And then he quickly moves to, well, the command really, love one another.
But he's careful to point out this isn't something new he's just thought up.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
He says it's the one they've had from the beginning. So he's anchoring it back to their foundational teachings, reinforcing what they already hopefully knew.
Okay, but here's where, for me at least, it gets really specific. And maybe challenges how we often think about love today.
Absolutely. Because he doesn't leave love undefined. He immediately says, and this is love, that we walk in obedience to his commands.
Wow. So love equals obedience.
In this context, yes. And he even repeats it slightly differently. As you have heard from the beginning, his command is that you walk in love. It's like a loop. Love is obeying the commands, and the core command is to love, which means obeying.
So it's demonstrated action, grounded in those original commands, tied to walking in truth. That truth, love, obedience chain you mentioned.
Precisely. It's all interconnected.
That framework makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
But after establishing all that, the tone really shifts, doesn't it? It gets quite stark.
It does. He's built this positive picture of community based on truth and love as obedience, and then he pivots to a very real threat.
What is this threat? What could possibly undermine this?
He warns about many deceivers who have gone out into the world and their specific error. They do not acknowledge Jesus Christ as coming in the flesh.
Denying the physical reality of Jesus.
Yes. And he doesn't mince words. He calls such a person the deceiver and the Antichrist. That's incredibly strong language.
It really is. You can almost feel the danger he perceives. Likely those early Gnostic-type ideas denying Jesus' humanity, right? Which hits the core of the gospel.
Exactly. It undermines the incarnation, the atonement, everything.
And the warning feels very personal. He tells them, watch out that you do not lose what you have worked for. It puts the responsibility on you, the listener, the reader.
And he connects this directly to faithfulness, to staying put. He says, anyone who runs ahead and does not continue in the teaching of Christ does not have God.
Runs ahead, like goes beyond the established truth.
Sort of chasing novelty, perhaps, but the positive side is clear. Whoever continues in the teaching has both the Father and the Son. It's about sticking to that foundational truth about Jesus, especially his full humanity.
Okay, so based on that, the danger of this specific deception, he gives this really direct, almost startling instruction.
It's blunt, isn't it? If anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not take him into your house or welcome him.
No hospitality. That seems counterintuitive sometimes, especially in a religious context.
Yeah.
He's not saying debate them or correct them.
No, he's saying, don't give them a platform. Don't offer the kind of welcome taking them into your home, a sign of fellowship that might imply you endorse or share their belief.
Because doing so makes you complicit.
That's exactly his reasoning. Anyone who welcomes him shares in his wicked work. It's about preventing the spread of what he sees as soul-destroying deception and protecting the community's faithfulness. It's a hard boundary for the sake of truth.
Wow, okay. And then he sort of wraps it up quite quickly, doesn't he?
Yeah, he says he has more to write, but he'd rather see them face to face. He hopes to visit so their joy can be complete.
A lovely touch. It brings it back to that personal connection after such a stern warning. Ends with a simple greeting.
It really highlights the tension, I think. You've got this beautiful affirmation of community built on truth, love defined as obedience.
Contrasted sharply with this dangerous deception about Christ's nature.
Right. And the command not to welcome those spreading it shows just how seriously he took protecting that core truth and the community itself.
And yet, woven through it is this deep desire for real, personal connection, face-to-face interaction, for complete joy.
It shows that for the elder, doctrine and truth weren't just abstract ideas, they were lived realities essential for the community's health, joy, and very identity. Guarding them was paramount.
So, thinking about this short, intense chapter, what does it leave you, the listener, with today? If love is shown by obedience to foundational truth, and protecting that truth sometimes means drawing these really hard lines, well, how do you navigate that?
Especially in our world where ideas about truth and love can seem so fluid or even contradictory.
Right. How do you figure out what it means to continue in the teaching and maintain both love and truth in your own life and community? Something to really think about.